We interrupt this program with a special report.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land. So sit tight and bend an ear.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week of the Manga Monday show. We are here, and you want to know who else is here? My co-host.
The One Piece!
The One Piece
The
is
One Piece is
real!
real!
I thought you said we couldn't talk about this.
Well, I didn't want to show you it during the podcast, but...
Because I would, like, barf on it. I'd be like, ooh, oh, God, it's awful.
Don't look at that
Yeah.
meme. It's cursed.
No, don't. Unless you're enjoying of cursed stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a For You page on any TikTok and
You've probably seen it.
have clicked One Piece video, you've probably already seen it. So,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But my name is Edgar, and it's going to be back.
yes. How was your week, Edgar? We're back at school, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm done for now. But
You're
luckily,
done?
yeah, done.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, done.
You graduated?
No, I'm not graduated yet, but
Oh,
like I'm
okay.
done with my classes. But this week has been one of the most busiest weeks ever
Yeah.
because the deadline. My book is finished. My web
Yes.
novel is now officially finished.
It is
You can go
indeed.
check it out. Link in the description. I've been posting it for a while, but it's done now.
Yes.
And I just feel so exhausted. But the past week I've been staying up like ridiculously late because yes, I've had like a few months and I've had this idea and this story like for years now. But it took so long to like push back my writer's block, and I'm like, okay, if this deadline or this competition didn't have like this deadline, I'd probably either A, not finish it for a much longer while, or just take like longer. Cause like
Yeah,
I
you gotta set deadlines.
I'm
for
like, I
yourself,
can't,
yeah.
like I'm never gonna do it. So I just do it.
Mhm.
I don't care, even if it's a bit rushed. I don't care. I'm just gonna push through it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I had to cut a lot of stuff out, but which kind of sucks. But it makes me feel happy that I had stuff to cut out because like a year ago I would have never filled the page.
Yeah.
I never thought I had a page to fill, but I had. But I luckily like I'm like, wow, that's a lot of words now.
Yeah.
So but it was so I feel like alive and I feel like
Right.
really great
Good.
and proud of what I do. And Ben here helped out the illustration for my cover. I was like, hey,
sure
can you?
did.
I asked you a while ago, but I told you, hey, we gotta. I need to have this. I want to have this done by then because I don't know if you could change the cover for the thing. to submit the
Edgar
contest.
was like, hey, like we should really get this done. I've been slacking on it for a while, working on my own stories, and I was like, you know what? It's good because this is Edgar. You gave me the first time ever, my first ever deadline, and I was like, oh,
All right,
like
now
in
you know what
terms
a
of
now you-
manga and
yeah.
anime, yeah.
Now I know what a mangaka feels like. All right, we need this done by then.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I never, like, I do want to work for. Eventually, I want to work forever with Shonen Jump, but I don't want to work like in those strenuous circumstances.
yeah.
But this wasn't strenuous. This was just working because I work on my arc 2 hours a day, but this was just adding an extra 3 hours to it, and it wasn't too bad. It's the first time I ever drew in color, and it's the best thing I think I've probably ever drawn.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Do you feel like you've improved? I think you improved a lot. Like from
Yeah.
your, I really like it, and I was like just shocked at. I told you like you know compared to where I submitted it, there you can like pick an illustration cover, and I've seen worse. I mean, not to throw judgment, but I was like, the bar was low. The fact that I just wanted something, you know, original, not just some vague thing like my character on it.
Yeah.
And I told you, and like when I saw it, I'm like, oh my god, this is like the coolest thing ever because
Good.
I've had this character, I've had this world in my mind. No matter how many times I envisioned it, no matter how many times I kept describing it on the page, seeing it like in this form, I'm like, I dreamt of you.
Good.
And like that
Oh,
is so,
good,
and that's
good.
so cool. Like
That's
you have no
good.
idea what that feels for me. Like to
Yeah.
have someone like just like draw something that you like mustered up in your mind.
And it's great because it's like you sent me things that are the first thing that I learned about drawing is never draw from memory. unless you do it every day, like
Unless you're like
Horikoshi.
God, like,
Because
yeah.
Horikoshi, like there's this video of Horikoshi drawing. And I watched it before I became an artist, and people in the comments are like, "Well, he doesn't use circles to figure out the skull size. Like he just draws it, and which is, But Horikoshi does this 24/7. It's, it's basically ingrained in his skull now, how to do this. But, yeah, you sent me some stuff like some costuming ideas and weaponry ideas and like eyes, what you wanted, and I just took all three of those things and I meshed it together to create something. And my favorite volume covers are the Jujutsu Kaisen volume covers, so I took some inspiration from that. I took inspiration from the one with the cover with Nanami, where he's like putting up his glasses and his hands are so like finely detailed.
Yeah.
And then, which is my favorite cover, volume cover 0, where Yuta's holding Rika and he has his sword out. So you'll have some similarities from that. But this made me realize that I think I'm going to study Gege Atsusuma's style and design my own style off of that, because I love the way it is. So yeah, it's good.
I really liked it, and I'm just gonna now. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like basically just promote the hell out of it. Because I checked like on the, there's like 26 pages of like Cyberpunk, because like there's 3 categories, and like the way the contests work is that they'll pick like a 15 for like the first round. And I'm in the top 50% in terms of like popularity, so that's like a good thing at least.
Really? That's good.
So
That's
I'm
good.
just gonna like tell everyone like just like it. If it gets like likes and like up there, it'll look good enough to like for them to read like judges, because like the judges are gonna be the ones to judge it first, and it's a long shot. But I have way more stories to tell. But like I would like to feel like I have a. It'd be nice,
And this is just an entrance for a competition.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now that you have this outline, you can supply it to, and there's going to there's going to be an episode towards the end of the year. I'm writing five one-shots right now, and I'm going to have the story outline, and there's going to be an episode where we just kind of talk about, because I know some of our listeners, I'm sure, are interested in writing and drawing and all that stuff. We're just gonna talk about I think sometime in January, is because that's when I'm done with school. We're going to talk about submitting stories and where to submit the stories. Right now, I'm doing heavy research on where to do it. Dark Horse is a big one. Obviously, Viz Originals. We actually have a new story about that this week, about an American manga that is being shipped to Japan. So we're going to talk about that.
Nice.
And then, of course, there is, which I think is probably the best way to do it, is you search up Viz Japanese. In Japanese, Viz submissions, I just went on Google Translate Viz submissions, and then copy and pasted it from Japanese, and it's everywhere. They have a competition every week, basically. Because these mangakas, they're just drawing and
it just doesn't
like
seem
that,
as like we don't see it because it's not like displayed out in English like that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like we don't, and literally, nowadays you call Viz Media and you make an appointment. So there may be a time, Edgar, where we go on vacation to Japan, but we set up a meeting. We also need to learn a little bit
networking.
of Japanese.
It's called
yeah. Becoming a mangaka as an American, 95% of it is learning Japanese.
But I'm basically, if I don't make the contest, what I'm going to do is essentially edit down like a complete, like full version of this, because this is like a kind of like a rushed version. I'm really proud of it and I really like it, but there's a lot of things that left out. And if I want to like submit, I still want to like, use this story to like have an ace in my, a good card in my deck that I want to use. So I'm going to edit the hell out of it. If it doesn't, pan out. And then just submit it to like Yen Press or Seven Seas.
And always keep it
light novels.
Always keep it on the side, because who knows, when you get things published and it's well received, it might just be like, okay, what's your next story? And you're like, bam, here it is.
And I'll be working on much more stories in the meantime.
Good.
But even if they picked it up, like if I got chosen like for this again, I'd be like, can I change? Let me change.
No,
Let me change some things.
Obviously, they would let you change
I'd
stuff.
be
Yeah,
like,
of
wait,
course.
wait, I want to do this. How would you react if they picked it up and that was the character design? You're like, let me draw it again, like just so they can base it off
I don't
of-
know. I don't know what I would do. I don't think they would ask me. I think they would have you. I don't think they would take any mind to it.
But I would want to
You know.
keep your design, so I would ask you to do it
Really?
again, and then have them base off that.
God. Okay.
I might be asking a lot, but I really like what you did, and I would like you to be involved in it somehow, like some way.
Yeah.
And you're like, who's this guy? like,
Yeah.
he's with me.
I'm really like, hi everyone. Yeah, it's great.
No, but that was pretty much literally all I did for the most part, just writing and completing that. Anything other than you drawing the illustration? Anything you've been up to? Or watching?
No. I mean, I've been watching. Hot D has been really good. House of Dragon.
Oh,
yeah, House of the Dragon.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that's the prefix. Like God.
a pretty bad one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a great one.
sus
I love
one.
calling it Hot D. It's great. That is a brilliant show. And
Second
it's doing
episode was
amazing.
really good.
Second episode was really good.
Really good.
And then I watched the third episode of She-Hulk. Sadly, it's just
I saw memes of it, and it's
Yeah,
like
God.
hilarious.
yeah. At the end, it has like a twerking scene, and I was like, "This is possibly one of the worst things I think I've ever seen."
It's so funny how many times people will say she's like this in the comics. Like, does not mean
I don't-
it's
yeah, that
like
does
it does not make it
This
funny.
is what
like,
I'm saying. Like
that is their
Edgar-
only defense.
Edgar
like,
caught onto it early. Like this is what I'm saying is that MCU fans, they will say we're MCU fans, but like in terms of the recent stuff, the
it's like
bad
us saying
writing,
My Hero
yeah.
fans. Like,
Yeah,
we're My Hero
exactly.
fans, but
We
not
are my-
that.
we're,
Like,
yeah, exactly. But it's like MCU people who are like who think that they're that they're the ultimate fans because they like everything.
Yeah.
Which is if you like everything blindly, take a look in the mirror, dude. Like don't
touch some
like
grass.
everything. Yeah, exactly.
like,
But like they say stuff like she's like that in the comics, and that's not a defense. Like I said this multiple times. If you go back and watch our Doctor Strange review, I said, yeah, but it's in the comics. That's not a defense. It's not a defense. It doesn't defend bad writing. If it was bad in the comics, that doesn't mean But another one that I found that people are saying recently is, well, it's a comedy, dude. And I'm like, okay,
That too, yeah.
listen. The Office is a comedy, but the writing of it is still really good until the latter seasons.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec writing is really good. The Good Place has really good writing. All of these Community, really good writing. So what I'm saying is the writing still needs to be good. And it's just disappointing because I can tell the actress for She-Hulk, she's really good. She does
Yeah.
a really good job of turning and breaking the fourth wall and doing all that stuff. The issue is it's written by, I don't know, it feels like a 5-year-old. Like
no, it's like one of those AIs, like
Yeah.
auto story makers or whatever.
exactly.
Like,
It's like somebody wrote a bad Hallmark Christmas, special and put it in. It's like a bad Hallmark Christmas movie without the Christmas.
yeah.
Like it's
That's the
yeah.
only good part of every Hallmark
yeah,
movie.
and that was supposed to be Hawkeye, but Hawkeye was really good.
yeah.
So it's just like, God, it's just the most, and it's really bad because She-Hulk actually is more connected to the universe than any television show we've seen. It doesn't have the biggest impact like Loki, but it is the most connective because we have Bruce Banner in the first one, we had the Abomination in the second, and then we had Wong in this one.
Yeah.
And it's really bad when they pull them in because now they're taking.
We're gonna get Daredevil next.
Mhm.
Like,
We're taking characters that are on the more serious side of the MCU, and we're kind of making them and turning them into jokes.
well, it's not.
You
It's not
know.
even that. It's like it is that, but it's
Yeah.
like it's just they won't be doing it well. Like
Mhm.
it'll just be like, I don't know. It's just. I can't even get myself to watch it, man. I just see the
no,
clips
don't.
and
Just
like,
don't. The lawyer stuff, dude. I have never seen a more not even generic.
it doesn't help seeing Better Call Saul than seeing this.
Oh yes, exactly. Like that's literally.
I'm
like,
literally watching Better Call Saul, and I can't even imagine how
It's-
that stuff
Dude,
is.
it's really, really
I
bad.
follow this YouTube lawyer who who breaks down scenes, and he like watches the Hulk, like She-Hulk. He's like, yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
I was like,
well,
that's
not
good.
how it works.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that ain't good.
Like it's just like it's just like what legal system, like how, like they already like the second MCU movie, like Iron Man 2. Has a good courtroom scene with Tony Stark. Like,
I love
and
that.
that's written really well. Even though that movie wasn't necessarily well received, I still like it. But I think like why like just get some professional like lawyers. Like if you're gonna do a show about law, call it Attorney at Law.
Yeah.
Like it needs to have one of those courtroom scenes, I'm just like, oh boy.
No words.
Yeah.
That's how it do and that's how it be.
And then Edgar.
Yeah.
You know what else came out
What?
last night? The Ring of Power.
Oh yeah.
Rings of Power came out last night.
Did you see it?
No, but I'm tempted to. I'm very tempted to hate
Are they-
watch. I know.
Okay.
I know that people are like, I've seen a lot of reviews and all the reviews are very bad. But there are, one YouTuber I really respect, Daniel Green. He talked about it and he said it was all right. But I'm interested in creating videos, and the promises all tie in. I'm interested in creating videos on my YouTube channel, which if you go down on our YouTube channel, you'll find it's called Manga Theater. And I got a couple subscribers from when I did things from the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested in doing that stuff. And I was going to start doing it when we reached 100 subscribers, because I want to push this channel and do the best that I can for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really enjoying doing that. But I want to create, my own stuff about plays and about manga and about fiction and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be interesting to watch it. And I am a Lord of the Rings nerd. I read all the Lord of the Rings books once a year, and that includes all the short stories, the Silmarillion, the Children of Húrin, and the Fall of Gondolin, and all that stuff. I think it'd be interesting to watch it and be like, this is all the things wrong with the lore. Like, this is all the things that is not...
You actually know your stuff. Like
exactly. Yeah. And watch it. And already, the way that they're portraying Galadriel, completely wrong.
And Elrond.
And Elrond, apparently Elrond is... Have you heard this?
Like
Apparently they're portraying Elrond as gay. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like he was like a senator or like an ambassador.
Yes,
or something.
that too. But apparently they're portraying him as gay as well.
Isn't he...
He is
dad?
He is a dad, and he is married to Galadriel's daughter. So I don't know how they're going to do that.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know how they're. It's gonna be hard to judge.
It's not a matter of doing things that like either changing people's color or like changing their sexuality. It's the logic to that world and when it makes sense.
Yeah.
That might sound like a hot take, and people will take it that way, but that does not make sense for at least for that character. Out of all characters that I've seen where they've done that before, I'm like, that makes no sense.
If it was that case, I feel like Tolkien would have written just a paragraph about it at least, but we haven't heard anything about.
They're not even. But even if he did, they're not even going off that. They're just going off appendixes because that's all they have the rights to.
Yeah, the appendices, but they're not even. They're like every story that they're doing is a big stretch, basically.
Yeah.
They literally took a sentence and were like, yeah, we'll make a story out of that, which shouldn't be done.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't, Galadriel is not a warrior. She is powerful, but having a sword and being a cool like knight-looking lady doesn't make you powerful. She's powerful in a different sense. So it's very fascinating.
Well, I'm wondering. I've heard a lot of bad things about it, but I'm wondering when it will take, like, what direction it'll take exactly. Yeah. Will it be like a cross? Will there be a lot of people who like it, or will it be like, yeah, we were right, and like and it just like because I think this is the biggest like. The most expensive thing that they're making, and that if this fails, it'll be it. It'll
be it for the streaming service. Yeah.
For at least on their end. You know, like on the
no, it
which is a shame because you have The Boys and Invincible and like a lot of other shows that are really great, like on Amazon Prime, which is it's a shame. It really sucks.
It is really sucks, but it just goes to show that like what original content versus vague fantasy with a big IP behind it. I wonder if it's going to be very similar to. I hope it's not this. I wonder if it's going to be similar to The Witcher, where a lot of book readers don't like it,
And then just like new people
and
who
new people are like, "This is the best thing I've ever seen." You know.
yeah.
I wonder if it will be like that. I hope not. Like to be honest, like since it is Amazon and since Jeff Bezos was involved, I kind of want it to flop. I know it's evil for me to say.
He needs to be
but,
humbled.
yeah, but I don't I'm not. I don't feel bad about trashing on content that comes from multi-billionaire companies. So
That's almost everything now, unfortunately.
well,
like Disney,
not what we're talking. Well, not what we talk about on the show, Edgar.
Oh, anime and manga? Yeah, one could say that. Yeah,
Manga.
I was gonna
Manga.
say Sony owns Crunchyroll, but they don't make the anime.
No.
But yeah,
we might get to that point though, where
actually we have a news
topic.
topic that kind of relates to that point. I don't have it in front of me. I hate that I don't have it in
man.
front of me because it's not really official because I can't seem to find it. But
Yeah. All right, well, let's jump into the news then.
let's while I look mine up, you give me
I
something.
can get us started.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we talked about earlier was we talked about, our stories and all that stuff, and I found a nice little news story that talks about an American manga that's being done. So there's this I forgot what it's called. There's this thing called Viz Originals, right? And it's it's a part of the American Viz program, and there's this part where you submit a manga or story idea, and Viz will publish it at like a volume at a time. Not similar to Shonen Jump, but they'll do it, kind of see how it goes. It's created stuff that haven't been very popular, like World Peace and all that stuff. However, they did get one hit. Viz Originals is where I'm definitely going to be submitting. However, I'm more interested in submitting on the Japanese side of things because I think it's more accessible that way. But there's this manga called Devil's Candy, and it's going to get a Japanese release in the Kadokawa's Aokishi magazine. So it's not going to be Shonen Jump, it's not going to be Viz, but it's going to be different. The Vib published Bikuri and Ram's action-adventure manga in North America. Kadokawa Aokishi magazine announced on its blog Saturday that it'll begin serializing a Japanese version of Bikuri and Ram's Devil's Candy manga. Viz published the action-adventure series, and here is the description for it. The science projects of Hemlock require more than a fizzy volcano to impress the class, so naturally Kazu introduces them to Pandora, whose violent streak and impressive strength cause more destruction in his already chaotic school life. Braving runaway science experiments, howling apparitions, and a deadly fashion show, Pandora learns that life as a devil high school is a day-to-day struggle for survival. So the writer, who goes under the name Bikuri, is actually a voice actor called Clint Beckham. And Clint Beckham is the voice actor for Kenma in the dub of Haikyuu. And he's been in a whole bunch of other stuff for Bang Zoom Entertainment and whatever the other one in Houston is. I don't remember. I'm sure he's been in some Crunchyroll stuff as well. And then there's an illustrator called Rem. We don't know anything about him or her. Viz published the first volume in July 13th, 2021, and the second in July 12th, 2022. So obviously they're taking their time with this. So they're not really, working that hard. They're doing it volume by volume. That's just what Viz Original is. I think it's kind of just to help people get to that point, So Clint Beckham, he's not a mangaka. He's writing it.
Oh, okay.
So he's a manga writer with an illustrator.
I'd like to be that.
Yeah. And Viz Originals can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, which is great. That is just goes to show, like, kind of what the difference of comics is in America. There is a writer and there's an illustrator. It kind of takes the weight off of that. So that's interesting. I thought that was fascinating. That's going to be shipped to Japan, an American manga. You don't see that every day. I'm sure that I know there are multiple mangakas living in Japan writing for stuff in Japan. I know one of the biggest mangas is written by a French person, so there are a whole bunch of and drawn by a French person. There's a whole bunch of things going on all over the world. And this is what I want. I want to submit manga as a genre, as its own style of storytelling.
Yeah.
I think it has gone so beyond, that it just has to be Japanese people. So,
Yeah,
I think
and,
that's
and
great.
and we're getting there. Like
Yeah.
I can see the horizon, and it looks like that.
Beyond the horizon.
I don't know what that song is.
The Into the West from Lord of the Rings
All right.
to tie everything in.
Oh yeah. I was like, what?
Into the West.
Is like okay. Yeah. I have. Let me continue on. I found
Yeah, bud.
an article regarding the news that
Yeah.
I was talking about earlier. It was announced at the NYCC. I believe that's a convention. Forgive me for not knowing what that is, but it was announced at a convention, and I believe in New York, that fans of Bleach are now gonna have to wait a while because apparently the Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War won't be simulcast in English outside of Japan. That means we won't be getting it simultaneously streamed whenever it gets telecasted in Japan.
Oh, what?
So it'll probably be either released weeks after or weeks later or just later in general or in chunks like Netflix has been unfortunately doing, like with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Huh?
Like, oh, we'll wait. Oh, we have 25 or 50 episodes, then we'll do it. But what got fans really worried is that everywhere else around the world, Disney has acquired a license to stream Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War. It hasn't been confirmed who will be streaming it or licensing it in America, but heavy rumors, I believe, as of right now, there are a lot of heavy rumors that Disney has acquired a license to stream Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War.
So it's going to be on Disney Plus?
Yes.
There's
a lot of...
Well, I'm not too angry. I like Disney Plus.
Yeah, but people are worried. For one thing, the U.S. won't be getting it like week by week.
Oy, oy, oy.
So there's a lot of memes like
it's gonna be pirated.
The greatest era of piracy begins.
Yes.
Like One Piece. Like
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But people are worried for censorship, for just
Mhm.
a big delay whenever it comes for those who are going to wait officially.
Oh my God, that's right.
And then,
Ooh.
but again, just because like they have a license doesn't mean it'll be on Disney Plus for us. Because there's a lot of anime right now in Disney Plus, but it's just it's not for the States. I remember someone saying Mushoku Tensei's on Disney Plus now, and I checked and like, no, it's not. There's nothing on Disney Plus. I'm like, oh, it's like in like another country or whatever, which is really cool by the way.
This is kind of scary. Disney, stay away from Japan. Like, stop getting like that's when anime and manga dies. Is when
You keep going.
Yeah, that's when anime and manga dies. Is when like Disney gets a hold of like something like MAPPA or something like that, or buys a studio like that. That's when it dies.
Yeah, but that's really worrying. To hear, and a lot of people are gonna be like, "Well, I'm gonna be pirating it now."
Yep.
That's not me, but like, and I won't be watching it because I don't.
Here
I
at the
don't know
Manga
it.
Monday show, we always support the official release.
Yeah,
so please
but
check those out.
we'll have to watch the show first to get there. But that is really unfortunate. But that it is what it is.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
On another news, we got Hunter x Hunter's Togashi has officially stated, "I've decided to increase my staff."
With did you see the picture he drew?
Is the dog?
It was the dog, but it was like really wiggly and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, oof.
Yeah, it's his usual. I don't know what to call it. Do you know what they're called? Like, cause like I know a lot of.
I call it just their avatar. Like
Yeah,
they
there you
use,
go.
like their avatar that they
Horikoshi's like the
Horikoshi's
hand.
hand.
Oda's a fish.
Oda's the fish, and then like I know.
Gege's like some weird cat, like with some weird like.
Yeah, I know Black Clover's like he doesn't. Or he has the bird. He does like a duck or something.
Yeah, he's
like
like a
that.
duck. Yeah.
A nervous duck, I think.
What
it
would
is.
you? What
Really-
would yours be?
What would mine be? That's a good question.
You like cats, or like you have cats?
I
like-
do like cats. It might be that would be nice if it was my first ever one shot. If it was the cat from my first ever one shot.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
And it would just be a tie-in of the whole thing. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It might be something more creative than that. We'll see.
Yeah. So Togashi tweeted Monday, at least as a recording, that he has decided to increase his staff. News follow worryings, like health updates. He's been like posting about his symptoms and about his pain, but he's been working really hard at lately. And I feel like, according to like what he's been saying, is that he's finished like a volume's worth of chapters now, and if I read it correctly from when I read it before, I don't have it in front of me, but I've been reading his tweets. I believe that he was now drawing an illustration for the volume cover whenever need be. That's what he was drawing, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, you have more people now. You keep going to do more," which is great that he's gonna now be having help. But we still want him, to be. To be safe. He's finished, he's been working on these rough drafts. I believe it was like about 10 chapters or so, which is now probably going to be like, the volume. But I hope this means all for the better, and I hope this doesn't mean that people push him more, that, that he has help. But I will take this as good news.
Don't push him.
Yeah,
Don't push him.
I'll take this as good news, and I'll hope, the best for him, and hopefully he was able to work under his own, time and like at his own leisure. Thankfully, because I really love Hunter x Hunter, and I'm reading them. I'm starting the manga, and I'm like, it's just, it's absolutely amazing. And I forgot how much I love this story, and I really want to see it through.
There's going to be an exhibition in October for all of his drawings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where?
We don't know, but he said he elaborated on his upcoming statement for it. He said, "You're probably thinking, go draw the next chapter already. True. I was unable to sit in a chair for 2 years, which made me unable to draw," which we already knew. "But by throwing conventional methods to the wayside, I've been able to resume drawing somehow. Everyone, I sincerely ask you to take care of your backs and hips." Edgar, sit up straight. Sit up straight. There you go. "Just 2 weeks before writing this, I couldn't get into a position to wipe my butt and had to take a shower every time I pooped. It takes 3 to 5 times longer for me to do everyday movements. Your hips are important." So yeah,
I'll be writing that down because I do not want to be on that end. Oh
no, definitely. If you're an artist, if you sit in a chair, always try and find new ways to find new flexibility in your back. This is coming from an actor who literally has learned all of these yoga methods for years, and it really is. It's up there for your health. Take a yoga class. Take $20 out and get a massage, at once a month. Really figure that stuff out. That's what I'm doing, and those massages have been really helping a lot. So yeah, just do that. Take care of yourselves, friends. Yeah.
Ben, remember when I said that how Fire Force and JoJo fans could rest easy because I to my knowledge, David Productions don't really have like that many, at least currently, that much stuff under the belt.
Yeah.
But good news, not worrying news. I said that like it was gonna be bad news, but I remember saying to you how they only had like 2 big things.
Right.
But guess what? They're picking up a new anime adaptation to adapt.
Okay.
Officially coming in 2023, Undead Unlock gets an anime adaptation by David Productions. And it looks really good. David Productions is an underrated... I say underrated because people give Mappa and Ufotable all the hype nowadays.
Right.
But like Ufotable really goes hard when they adapt stuff, and it's really great. Undead Unlock, I remember.
I know if I ever had an anime app, I know I want Ufotable to animate it.
Yeah, they're really goated. I don't honestly want either. I think like David Productions because their sound design.
Yeah.
Ufotables too, and it obviously depends on who's doing it because they can switch. But for David Productions, their sound design with JoJo's and Fire Force, really good.
If they animated it like they did Mob, Studio Bones would also be an option.
Yeah. But Undead Unlock fans are happy. I wouldn't say it might sound wrong, but I mean, let's face the facts. There's like a crazy amount of popular manga that you can only count so many as popular. Yeah. But Undead Unlock was on one of those B tier or C tiers in terms of popularity, along with Marshall. And you're like, well, I really like Marshall. Yeah, but you kind of, My Hero and like Jujutsu Kaisen, like all that, whether you think they're good, you think they're good stories or not, it's like, there's a clear difference between like who's getting the attention or not. At Undead Unlock, I have been seeing like, while I read Shonen Jump, and like I see like, oh look, I can, these are the weekly mangas that come out, and I can always see Marshall and Undead Unlock when they were coming out. So I always saw this, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah. I haven't read it yet, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are looking forward to it. The style looks really clean, and the animation looks great. We don't have that much information on it yet, but we'll get more to come soon. You got something for me?
Yeah, the Aoshi manga, which is another soccer manga, gains 5 million in circulation since anime's debut. It's a good show. Definitely check it out. I don't think it is. I think some people are saying, oh, it goes under the wayside because of Blue Lock, and it's just as good. It's not. It is good. I had a couple of my friends. One of my friends directed it, and one of my friends was a lead in it.
Oh, really?
So yeah, cool. and it was really cool. It was a lot of fun to watch them be in it. In a soccer manga, especially since I'm so invested into soccer manga. Like I watched it while I was playing Football Manager. That's what I do in my spare time. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And a really good concept. So go check that out. It grew a lot in the past couple of years, and maybe, I think it is going to get a season 2, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Maku Runner, Volume 1 by Kanekyo and KJ is a new manga volume, or is a new manga coming out. I don't have any information. This is just like a small Twitter post that just shows the cover, a synopsis, and a title really announcing its release. A man turns his high school crush into a dakimato, which is kind of like a waifu pillow. At least from the looks of it, because it looks like a waifu pillow, a body pillow.
Edgar, what are you doing? What is this manga?
So a man turns his high school crush into a body pillow, and needs to try to turn her back while being chased by the police.
What?
And look at the volume cover.
What the heck? How do you find these? What the?
Look, she's so help me.
Yeah, she is
and he's oh, I gotta
I gotta save her.
I got a mission.
But before I do that, no,
I gotta sleep.
I gotta sleep.
I need a rest.
What the? Where have you found these?
I don't know, man. I just run into a bunch of funny just wacky mangas and light novels.
I know.
I just send Ben posts and check this out. It's a title that's a paragraph.
Yeah, most of the time Edgar handles the big news, and I go in a little bit under the cards. But sometimes Edgar finds these under the card, and sometimes it is not this one. This one doesn't look too bad, but some of it looks really why? Who made this exactly?
But that's hilarious.
Yeah, it is really good. Netflix is gonna add 13 anime titles.
Yeah, I saw that
after a new Nippon TV deal. I think Nippon's a studio, right, or a distribution studio. Nippon TV?
I believe so. It doesn't sound like an animation production company.
Yeah, it doesn't. But they entered a partnership with Netflix, and they're gonna add a whole bunch of titles, such as Hunter x Hunter. Of course, it's gonna be there. On High School Host Club. Yay, Edgar! On High School Host Club.
I mean, they took it off Netflix, but it seems like they're adding it back on again.
Yeah. Death Note's gonna be on there. Death Note Relight 1, Death Note Relight 2.
Yeah, that's cool.
From Me to You, not Attack on Titan. It's a different show.
Yeah.
From Me to You. Oh, excuse me.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
It's like a Rick impression.
I really don't like From Me to You. I was like, From Me to You, what? From Me to You, second season. This one is interesting. The 1997 Berserk is going to be on there. Which is interesting, which I've heard not good things about.
Well, I don't think that's the CGI one. I mean, they're both bad adaptations, but I don't think that's the CGI one.
No,
the 2000.
I do think it is the 2D one. This might have been the one that also popularized Guts' theme.
I think so. I can't remember. Yeah. I can't say for sure. I've never seen any of the things.
Yeah, Parasite, The Maxim, Nana, Hajime no Ippo, The Fighting, and Monster. So yeah, all the Death Note title is going to be on there. Hunter x Hunter or on High School Host Club. So just some stuff to put on in the background if you haven't, if you've already watched it, and if you have, hop on Netflix and then just go to town on it.
Yeah, I wanted to put. God, I wish I had it. I wish I had it on me on my person, but I'm trying to find it right now. I think I liked it on a Twitter post. Okay.
You look for it. I'll go to the next one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Goblin Slayer's Kumo Kagyo. He launches a new manga called New Moscow 2160, which is an interesting title. So yeah, the official Twitter account for Square Enix's Big Gangan magazine announced that they're going to release this new volume. No descriptions have been out, but there is a new cover illustration for it. The story is going to take place in the Cold War. which has continued on for 2 centuries in the world of mechanized rogues and conspiracies. There is a cleaner. So it is a little bit of a description, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a Cold War story, kind of like how Spy Family is, but it looks a lot darker than that. All I have to say is be careful, Kaguya, because it is, it's about Russia, so just be careful.
Yeah, I can't find it, so this is like really unprofessional on my part, but I'm going to talk about it because it's just big. Speaking of Spy Family, I think it was revealed like in an interview lately that Endo, the mangaka for Spy Family, recently talked about how his entire, Spy Family as a whole wasn't really a series that he was really attached to, and how he doesn't have that much passion in drawing. Like it got picked up and like, oh really, he didn't really want to continue. Like
man.
Yeah. He doesn't feel this it's not personal at all to
He's just
him.
writing it.
Yeah. Like he really does. I mean, he's really good at it, and people are like saying, and people are saying that like he knew the market, and he knew what would get picked up, so he kind of like he wrote something that would that's super
it makes
marketable.
Sense. There are some silly stuff in here that you're just like, that's interesting, but it is fascinating. I mean, when you kind of go from something extremely serious and personal like Attack on Titan, and then you begin to write, stuff like this. It's just fascinating to see how many, because I bet you he wrote hundreds of stories, and only one of them eventually got picked up.
It's just, I mean, you assume that someone writes something and it's like it's all them, like it's all like they love it like 100%. But like I saw that, I'm like, wow. I mean, it's not super sad, but it's like kind of like, oh man, like because it's a really good series, and he's really good at drawing it, and he has like a lot of heart.
But also, it makes me interested to see how he's going to end it, because a lot of times, does he care enough about it? Yeah, a lot of times people don't, storytellers don't kill off characters because they're very attached to
everyone. It's gonna end in a nuclear war, like in the manga. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's fast. I hope it does. I hope it gets to the point where it like rises, where like war does break out, and then they have to deal with it after. Because I do think that this story has the opportunity to have like the hypest final arc. I just think it does. Hopping on that, Edgar, there was a new trailer. If you haven't heard about this, I'm sure.
I think I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, October 1st. It's coming back, the second core.
Oh no, that's not what I'm talking about. But you're right.
Yeah, it's coming back. Part 2, they announced it really recently. October 1st coming back, along with everything else coming out in October.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have our hands full then.
Such a good day. Like such a good month.
It's gonna be a good month.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good month. And it's next month, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, we're in September now.
We are in September now.
Do you remember?
Yeah,
when it was no copyright. But anyway, yeah. It's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah.
But luckily because of all this writing, I've been like behind on watching like anime, so I'm gonna have my hands full, obviously with a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not gonna be as pressed as before. So I'm gonna have a good amount of anime to watch between then.
Yeah.
Which is really great. Cyberpunk, they released a new trailer. Oh my god, it looks so good. I'm really hoping it's good.
It does look good.
It looks visceral, colorful, like it looks great, and it looks like very. It looks like a series like I want to be.
Well,
like
it might have been like that's how it should be, because Cyberpunk is originally comics. You know? So
it looks phenomenal. I just hope it's better. If it's any better, if it's better than the game, which isn't that much, I'll be happy. Like, you know what I mean?
The story in the game's all right.
Yeah, I just hear that. I don't know. I hear a lot of. You don't hear that much about it before. I haven't played it again, but maybe I will. Like, but I don't think I have anything else other than talk about. This might be like their shortest podcast episode in a while.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Super Superhero, by the way, which we've done a review on, which is every time I look at it, I'm like, okay, now the video's gonna die. Cause
you mean the video?
Yeah, like the view can't cause usually
it's like 1,000 views now, right?
It's 1,600 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I like last time I checked it was 1,100, and I checked again last night, and I was like, "Awooga!" I was like, "Excuse me?"
I think I think it's like I said, not only is it Dragon Ball, but it's like it was a recent specific anime film review, which not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
People watch reactions to it. Not a lot of people just IGN and one or three YouTubers will talk about that movie, but nothing else much. So it got a lot of, I assume that's what it got into.
I haven't seen it again. I really want to go watch it again, but it was really good and we really enjoyed it. Go check out our review on that, because I think that's definitely our best edited video so far. That and our review of the Syrup Village arc.
Yeah.
Those are all great, but Dragon Ball Super superhero film beats Broly to reach the top 5 all-time anime films in the United States.
Yeah.
Which is big. I mean, we kind of knew this. Broly didn't have that broad of a release. It only released in the big cities.
Yeah.
But I think Crunchyroll just does such a better job of, marketing and releasing it that it did great. It earned about $30 million, $31 million after its second weekend in North America.
The number 5 biggest anime opening ever in the States, I believe.
Yeah. And the final totals, the only thing that are above it is Pokemon, the first movie, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, or the movie Mugen Train, Pokemon 2000, the movie, and Jujutsu Kaisen 0. It's just it's really fascinating to see how big, and I kind of knew this would happen too, because a lot of people were like, it's not doing too well in Japan, but you also have to realize
the world.
Yeah, exactly.
The world.
And Dragon Ball Z has just such a far reach. Over we saw that when Dragon Ball Super was ending, we saw that hype live reaction in Mexico. I implore you to watch that video, Edgar, because I have never watched something more hype in my life. There's this live reaction of an audience watching.
I think I saw them.
And they're all
wow! I think I saw people flashing their phones and running across the screen. I'm like, what?
It was crazy.
Well, I
dude.
saw that for One Piece too, but for One Piece Red, which is
there was the theaters in France, and One Piece is huge in France.
When does that? I forget. It comes out September, right, or October?
I think it comes out in October.
Yeah,
another thing to do.
Well, you'll take care of.
Yeah, I'll take care.
I don't want to.
Don't worry. But so it's really interesting, and this is adjusted for inflation, so this doesn't have any bias and stuff like that. It's just fascinating to see. Gohan is big in the United States. He is a big staple of why people like the Cell Saga specifically so much. And I agree. I love Gohan. Do I think he's better than Goku? Not necessarily, but I think it is great. But yeah, so that was fascinating. Go check out our review for that, and leave a like there, leave a subscribe there. Also subscribe to us right now.
Yeah,
do it right now.
Do it right now.
Do it right now.
I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
I do have one other thing.
Yeah.
And this is distant from the news.
Yeah.
I'm on the final volume of Vagabond, right?
Yeah.
I'm very sad.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, it's going to end, and I know it's going to end abruptly because people are saying, it ended abruptly because we don't know when Inui is going to come back and continue it, and it's in a really hype part of the story. However... And I was like, I need something else to read. And we asked last week, let us know what you want to read.
Oh, someone let you know?
Somebody let us know what we wanted to read.
Oh.
He heard our story talking about season 2 of Eden Zero. Have you read Eden Zero?
No, because no.
I think this week or next week we should try to read maybe the first volume of it.
All
and
right.
then come on and then just talk about
Bet.
it. And if we want to,
that one guy or that one person who said, "We'll do it for you."
Yeah, exactly. Let me.
I next thing you know, it's people spam a bunch of
and we're like,
read One Piece 1,000 times. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's read One Piece 1,000 times.
That'd be something interesting. I feel we might be scared of that in the future, but I feel like we could pick up a series to start with, monthly, and if we get into it, we'll just keep going.
Yeah, NL capital NL underscore Grim. Thank you for the suggestion. If you have any other suggestions, we're not big enough right now. Just put it on.
Watch it or read it, because the anime is out. Like,
let's read it. It'll be quicker if we read it anyway. Yeah, let's read it, and if we're interested, we can watch the anime and stuff like that, and go from there. I know the promo looked really interesting.
It's by the same creator of Fairy Tail. It's his third series. It's his third biggest.
We're gonna read this before Fairy Tail. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, I watched 80 episodes of Fairy Tail. I just haven't picked it up again. I want to, because it's a fun series. And Eden Zero, I got confused. I thought it was a spinoff because all three main characters looked exactly the same. Like, the main character looks like a black-haired version of Natsu. The blonde chick looks like Lucy from Fairy Tail, and then the cat is the exact same design. The blue cat looks like the Happy looks exactly the same. It just I thought it was a spinoff, but it's not. But we'll go check it out. And wow, I never thought that's a good reason just to pick up a
in
new
the
volume.
future. If we eventually get a whole bunch of people, what we'll do is we'll put a poll on our YouTube, and then you can click which one you want. You know, if we receive a whole bunch, like we're like, read this, it's like, okay, we'll make a poll and we'll do it on there. And all of that stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like button.
Check out our stuff. Go read Ben's one shot. Wait for his stuff to come out. Go read my finished web novel, and please like it as much as you can.
Give it support, guys.
But we appreciate you for listening.
We also appreciate your support on Instagram. All of those people who would follow us on the reels. Edgar, I'm doing a challenge where I try to release a new reel every single day for the rest of the month.
Oh my god!
And see how much happens.
All right.
Sorry, guys, my voice is dying on me.
Ben, this is the shortest episode. What are we talking about?
I know what's going on. But yeah, it's it's going to be. It's being really good. Thank you for those of you who have looked at our reels, followed us on there, and then come on to the YouTube and hit a subscribe. Thank you for all of you who have subscribed. We got like 20 new subscribers over the past 3 weeks, which is just... I couldn't imagine that growth like 2-3 weeks ago.
We're like that kid on YouTube. He's like, one subscribe special video. And then the next thing you know, within a month he has like 1 million subscribers.
Of course.
Can you do the same to us?
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna do 100. We're gonna make the biggest deal out of 100 subscribers. And
no, we are. We are.
We're gonna pop the champagne.
We are going to pop.
We're gonna make an aluminum foil YouTube play button. Like,
we're gonna do a special video where we talk about our 10 favorite manga and anime.
Face reveal if we haven't already.
Reveal. Yeah, sure, why not?
Draw my life, like
draw my life 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, that'd be great. So thank you guys for watching. Once again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, post a comment, share to your friends. We love interacting with you guys. Talking about manga and anime is our favorite thing to do. Writing manga and anime is our favorite thing to do. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next Manga Monday show.
See ya.